Hey YouTube, what's happening? Chris here. Wanted to bring you guys another little tutorial here, candlestick pattern. And guys, this one is called the Bullish Concealing Baby Swallow. Alright, now this one is another unique one that you don't see all the time, but it's a good one to have in your back pocket, and especially to study it and learn it and just really grow from it, guys, in our trading. So if you guys could like, subscribe, all that, I really appreciate it. And guys, also leave down in the comments if you guys have seen this one, if you guys have studied it. I knew nothing about it before I got this book, The Candlestick Charting Explained, where it really goes through each and every candlestick pattern. It's just a wonderful book. So I'm excited about that, guys. I'm excited to share it with you today. I know all the people who are watching this really want to learn. They want to dig in deep, and I'm proud of you, and it's really going to help you in the future. So guys, what this is, it's called the Concealing Baby Swallow, and my book says it's a bullish reversal pattern. No confirmation is required. And what we're having here, it says 2 black Marabazoo days support the strength of the downtrend. Now these 2 candles here, these are Marabazoo candles. See, there's no wicks on either end, and here's the close on each of them. So they're very powerful candles driving us to the downside. The momentum's in the downside. That's what they're talking about right there. Then it says on the 3rd day, the downtrend begins to deteriorate with a period of trading above the open price. And that's this wick right here. This is especially important because the open was gapped down from the previous day's close. The 4th day completely engulfs the 3rd day. And that's this candle right here. Do you see how it's engulfing this one? Including the upper shadow. And that's another point right here, guys, that it's going to engulf this whole candle here, not just the real body. And that's very important to remember. Even though the close is at a new low, the velocity of the previous downtrend has eroded significantly, and shorts should be protected. Rules of recognition. Number 1, 2 black Marabazoo days make up the first 2 days of this pattern. And that's what we saw here, these 2 Marabazoo candles. So write that stuff down, guys. Pull out a pen and paper, Marabazoo candles. Number 2, the 3rd day is black with a gap open. However, this day trades into the body of the previous day, producing a long upper shadow. And that's this right here. It looks like an inverted hammer. And the 4th black day completely engulfs the 3rd day, including the shadow. And that's this, engulfing this entire candle with the shadow. And what you're seeing here, guys, is this fight between the bulls and the bears, and the bulls stepped in here, and that's why the price got to as high as it did, even though we closed down here, which you'd think close, we're going lower. But because of how large this candle was, that was showing buying and selling in a lot of volume. Therefore, the bulls were starting to get in when they saw this candle here. Started to see that reversal taking place, and then we start to move to the upside. And then what it says here, scenarios and psychology behind the pattern. This is the most fascinating to me, guys. Just the psychology behind patterns and trading and traders and all that. It's amazing. Just the human psychology. You could study that for forever in terms of trading. So anytime a downtrend can continue with 2 black Marabazoo days, the bears must be excited. Then on the 3rd day, the open is gapped down, which also adds to the excitement. However, trading during this day goes above the close of the previous day and causes some real concern about the downtrend. Even though the day closes at or near its low, the next day opens significantly higher with a gap. After the opening, however, the market sells off and closes at a new low. This last day has given the shorts an excellent opportunity to cover their short positions and get out. Then it says, guys, last little bit here, pattern flexibility. This is a very strict pattern and does not allow much in the way of flexibility. The gap between the 2nd and the 3rd day is necessary, and the upper shadow of the 3rd day must extend into the previous day's body. Do you see this shadow? They're talking about this body here. So this shadow, and this shows profit taking. That's what those shadows are, guys. It needs to be within this body here. It needs to make it up to it. It needs to be long enough. And then, guys, the gap between the 2nd and the 3rd day is necessary, and the upper shadow of the 3rd day must extend into the previous day's body. In addition, the 4th day must completely engulf the previous day's range. To meet all these requirements, only a few changes in relative size can be allowed. In the pattern breakdown, this pattern reduces to a long black day, which is almost always considered a bearish day. Because of the direct conflict, confirmation is required. So, guys, that's what I wanted to bring to you here, this concealing baby swallow. And that's what they're saying. Basically, this candle is engulfing this. It's swallowing the baby here is the Japanese, what they're talking about here. So, guys, this is one to look for on downtrends, just that hammering down with these Marabazoo candles. And then you see this basically inverted hammer, essentially, with this long wick that needs to be inside this body, make it that long. And then we need to have this engulfing body to that there. And then we start moving to the upside, because the bulls are stepping in, and you can see where they were working up in here, which is pretty amazing after a day like that. And then you start getting driven to the upside. So, guys, that's how it happens. And if we can, identify these things, it can help us immensely in our trading. And one of the best things you can do is go through and take a pen and paper. And what I like to do, I will sit down and I'll look at a pattern like this, and I'll draw out these two Marabazoos, and I'll draw out these candles here, and I'll put it down, and then I'll put the description of it and what it does, and kind of go through it, talking about the closes and looking at all those different types of things, and write that down, draw the pattern, and just continue to study it, guys, because when you write these patterns down and you draw them, you're going to learn them so much better than just, reading them once in a book and moving on. No one can really retain that just reading it one time and moving on. You really need to dig into each and every one of these and study them, like even flashcards. I think they probably do make flashcards of these patterns. I need to look into those myself, where you can just bang them out and you see something like this, concealed baby swallow, concealing baby swallow, and then move on to the next one. Bullish engulfing pattern, dark cloud cover. There's just so many of them. Abandoned baby pattern, so harami cross, harami, whichever way you'd like to say it. So there's so much that you can learn from these books, guys. And like I said, I'm not sponsored by Thrift Books or anything like that, but I get books from there for like $3-4, all different types of stuff about trading, and you can't beat that. They're basically brand new. Most people get these books just so they can put them up on a shelf, and we want to get into them. We want to read them. We want to break them off. Some of these books, they'll have dust in the middle of them and everything, and I can tell people really haven't worked them. They haven't studied them and haven't went through and highlighted them. Remember, guys, one of the best things you can do is read the book, highlight the book as you go back and read it a second time, and then on your third time through, you're taking notes while you read it. So think you're reading the book 3 times. You're seeing what you already highlighted when you're reading it again, and you're also taking notes on it. So that's just one of the ways that I study. When I was in high school, what I would do, I'd take flashcards, and say we were doing some studying for history and memorization. I would have all my flashcards, and I'd do the first 3. I'd memorize those, then I'd move them to the side. I'd take another 3, memorize those. And now, so I have a total of 6 now. Then I would bring back the 3 and go through all 6 now, and I had to get all 6 right before I could move on. Then once I got 6, I'd put the 6 to the side, do another 3, memorize those, put the 9 together, memorize all those together. So you're just hammering it out. And I think that's one of the best ways to study. But that's just me, guys. I'm thankful to be here with you. I pray that you guys are really taking this stuff to heart as well, and want to study and learn, because the next bull market could be something really special, and I need you guys to help me as well pick out patterns like this. And you can say, hey, Chris, do you see the bullish concealing baby swallow that we did a video on? How cool would that be? And I could say, hey, all right, let me check that out on this chart or whatnot. So you guys could be my eyes, and I could also help while I'm studying all this stuff, giving it back to you. So God bless you all. Take care, my friends, and see you guys tomorrow, Lord willing.